Tree Talking Time is brought to you by Conkey's Outdoors and Stone Creek Hound Supply. Be sure to check them out for all your hound hunting needs. Welcome to Tree Talking Time, where we talk all things tree dogs, from the smallest feists to the largest hounds, treating squirrels to bears and everything in between. And from time to time, we might even run a little fast game.
You've been in this forever. You started when you were little.
Yeah. The first time I ever come to Black and Tan Days was 1985. And I was 10 years old. And I come with my grandparents, Maurice and June Muth. My grandpa had Black and Tan since 1950.
Jeez.
First registered Black and Tan was 1950. And he started breeding them in 1952.
Okay.
And
when did the Black and Tan breed get recognized by UKC?
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I figured you would know.
That was before my time.
But still early on, 1950 registered dogs of any kind were still rare.
Yeah. He had grade dogs, but then he got his first registered dog.
Yeah.
And then he liked it, and he stuck with him ever since. And I started going with Grandpa when I was about 8 to the shows and to the hunts. And we pleasure hunted, we coon hunted, hide hunted in the wintertime like everybody did during kill seasons. And he had 2 lines of dogs from way back as long as I can remember. He had show dogs and he had hunting dogs.
Okay.
And he strived to have the best. And I do the same thing. I try.
Yeah.
And
that's pretty evident this weekend. You guys have been doing pretty well.
Yeah.
You want to touch on what you won today?
Well, we can for sure. Yeah.
You guys just pulled off some pretty big wins today in the show, and you've done pretty well in the hunt the last couple nights. So I think you're carrying on your grandfather's tradition of having good hunting dogs and good show dogs to this day.
We strive for a dual purpose hound is what we really like.
Yeah.
And Misty has upped the show game.
Yeah.
Since Misty came into the picture, 11 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I started, I didn't even know what a coon dog was. This was new to me when I started. I didn't have any idea at all.
Okay.
And my first big event you took me to was actually Autumn Oaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you showed a dog. Who did you show? Not.
Probably.
Yeah. And he won his category, and I just thought it was the greatest thing ever.
And then today you guys won king and queen of the show.
Yeah.
Pairs.
Pairs with the same 2 dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we won grand female and grand male back-to-back days, Friday and Saturday. And then we got into a elimination hunt on Thursday night with Roll.
Yeah.
You got best female of the show today.
You did get
Dolly.
best female of the show today, yeah.
You won your cast last night.
Won my cast last night, got 3rd place in the Grand Nights. And,
You're on a roll, that's for sure.
We're on that redneck roll. It's very humbling, though, because we go to Black 10 Days once a year, and if we don't win, it's fine, too. I mean, it's not all about winning. It's the people that we meet along the way and our friends that we have made with dogs.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's me and Trevor were talking during the show, and it was like, those 3 dogs are all Gilman dogs. Like, while you guys were showing up there, it's like there's 5 dogs in that. I know of 3 of them, and I mean, I'm not saying the other ones weren't somehow, but I'm like, I know 3 of them are, and I'm not a Black and Tan person, so it's like.
That is credit to Misty. That is her breeding program and her crosses that she has made in the last 5 years.
Yeah. I recently saw on like one of the Facebook groups for Black and Tan, somebody was asking about, getting into showing and, they'd never really shown. And they said, would Black and Tan Days be a good place to go and learn? And I kind of chuckled, and I didn't write a comment or anything, but I'm like, no, it's a good place to learn, but it's not a good place to like, to show up and never have any experience. I'm like, this is one of the toughest places to win other than like big national shows.
Well,
like a breed
you
days.
have to get your foot in the door somewhere, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. This is a
Welcome
good place,
everybody.
good place to
The
learn,
black and
not a
tan
good
breed
place
right
to.
now is very tough.
Yes.
There's a
They're very
lineup
tough.
that I know which 3 males you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that they're the toughest lineup in any breed right now.
Well, even the up and coming ones are very tough.
The pups out of those dogs are coming on now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No, I told a lot of people that last year at the World Show. I'm like, the black and tan breed was probably the toughest class I saw.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
they come in the ring first,
Yeah.
and it's like intimidating, sometimes to the other breeds. And I've heard this from the other breed people to tell me that. They're like, and when they bring those dogs in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying you don't have the World Show. There's a lot of nice hounds. Don't get me wrong.
That's the best.
But you look at a class of hounds, and it's like, all right, there's a couple clear, outstanding dogs.
Yeah.
Black and tans, it's like one after the other. It's every one of them. Like,
yeah, they're all nice.
you got to be really nitpicky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all just a little different too. So like one will shine one day over the next one just a little, and then the next day it'll be a different one. But they're all just very nice.
Yeah. And you guys also produced a world champion.
That was the first one. We hope there's more, but that was the first world show champion we had ever produced. Yeah. And it was her cross. It was her idea and everything.
Kelly does a great job with him.
Mm-hmm.
She does
Oh,
a
for
lot.
sure.
Yeah.
Wow. When you get Kelly Myers and Felicia Bailey and Misty, and then Misty's got the young girls coming on now, and when you get that lineup of those quality of people, she can't go wrong.
No.
And their friendship is above and beyond. Them ladies, they all push each other.
Yeah, I would say so.
They do.
And like you said, the young girls that are coming on, I've seen them show in some big shows, and it's like,
yeah, they're pretty tough too.
they're tough competing against adults, and it's like,
yeah, and they're not intimidated by them at all. Like they are ready to win.
Yeah,
yep, for sure.
Well, today what was her name? Or yesterday, she won Best Female of the Show.
Yeah, Bethany with Isla with one of my pups.
Yeah, and then last year, Misty's prodigy, we've been calling it, Chloe Gibson. She won. Not only did she win the scholarship and the youth stuff last couple of years, she won Queen of Show last year.
Yep.
At 17 years old.
Yeah, she's super tough too
She
to
is.
show against.
She has that grandpa mentor also.
Mm-hmm.
Gary Glenn's had black and tan since the 70s.
Okay.
And it brought a tear to his eyes last year when Chloe won.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like you said, you not only produce these amazing show dogs, your dogs have proven themselves in the woods as well, and not only in the woods, also as reproducers. So,
yeah, the highest achievement. Today I won Queen of Show, and I've never did that before. My grandpa had a few times, multiple times, but I never had. But the high achievement so far the weekend for me was Breeder of the Year yesterday.
mm-hmm.
That's saying something, and it means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And you got to be producing. We're still trying to produce that number one dog every day.
Yeah. Well, right now, where are your dogs sitting at on the reproducers list?
Well, Rebel is current number one,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Roll is number 3.
Okay.
It's a pup out of Rebel, but Rebel was out of Batman, and he is number 1 historical.
Okay.
And I had the females, and Mike and Shane had the ultimate reproducer.
Yeah.
And it was gold when we bred those dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've pushed that on. And it all comes from the legendary cross of Newt and Chigger.
Okay.
And Tony Grubb and Mike Crockett made that cross.
Okay.
And it's hard to find the breeding out there that doesn't have that in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And
you see that in a lot of breeds. Like when you get clear, big reproducers, they tend to dominate a breed.
they do.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in the walkers. There's so many of them. I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
But even that, there's a handful of dogs. It's like try to find a walker pedigree without like Bone Collector or Trackman.
Rat Attack.
Rat Attack. Like there's a couple big names. It's like I'm not saying you can't, but it's hard.
Yeah.
And then
3 to 4 generation back.
Yeah.
You sense in there somewhere.
yeah, and then I would say the smaller breeds,
There's less to choose from.
Exactly. So therefore, it's even more prominent.
Well, it's a lineage. We talk about it all the time, and it's in the black and white, literally in the bloodlines and book and magazine. And Newt is on the historical reproducers list. He was Batman's sire. And then Batman, he's number 1 historical. And then Rebel is out of Batman's number 1 current. And now here comes Roll.
Yeah.
And I can foresee already he's going to reproduce really well.
Okay.
And
how old is Roll now?
he just turned 6.
How many litters does he have on the ground?
I don't know the litters, but he's got 114 pups, I think, right now.
Okay. So you've bred him a few times then?
Yeah. Yeah, and we're planning on, producing more out of Roll and a few more out of Rebel. So
Okay.
we're hoping Rebel, the ultimate goal is Rebel can go historical, and maybe even Roll would have a chance at that.
Yeah.
So we wish they did the show dog stuff, because right now I'm pretty sure Misty's standings would be pretty good.
I would say so.
She'd probably, just like today in the show, I thought she beat me for a little bit.
little mishap by Dave Myers.
That
Said
was
the wrong
great.
name.
Good old Dave Myers.
That was pretty funny.
I actually had the pleasure of hunting with Dave last night, and we had a gentleman's hunt, and it was a very nice outing and evening, and we had a good hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah. What was your score last night?
I scored 650 plus.
Okay. Nice.
And no minus, and it was we treated coon a good clean hunt. And back to what I was saying a while ago, it's the people you meet along the way. Dave and Kelly Myers are top-notch people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We just wish they lived closer. We'd probably get in trouble if they did, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're over my way.
Yeah.
A little far from Illinois.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Doc Birdsall told me a while ago he was so proud of us and how we promote the breed and how we conduct ourselves in and out of the show ring. And yeah, it was a really compliment.
That is a high compliment. Yeah.
And he was telling me about his world show champions, him and Chirpy, and 22 king and queen of shows is what they had accomplished.
Wow.
And I was like, me and Misty got a long ways to go.
I don't know if we'll get there.
He said you guys are moving on. I said, well, thank you, but
Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
yeah.
No, but I like your mentality, and you've kind of, and I've touched on this podcast before, is about it's hard to really establish a breeding program by yourselves. And, you said the other night when we were talking, when I went out with you, you've got quite a few dogs at the house.
Yes.
Probably could put a lot of people to shame on how many.
I raise and produce quite a few hounds, and we send them all over the country.
And that's where I was getting with this, is that you partner with people like Dave and Kelly and like Zach right here.
Zach Southall, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Scott McBride, Ryan Cheeseman.
Yeah.
Quality guys.
To help promote, these dogs, because you can't do it all alone.
No, I can't run them all. And a lot of people think we pay them or sell them. No. I place pups in the hands of quality hunters. Charlie McPherson and his wife, Kate, they go every weekend. They went to 50 weekends, I think, last year.
Wow.
And he said, I never met him before, and I said, I need to meet you. And he said, I asked him, would you like to have a pup or something? And he said, of course. And we gave him 2 pups, and man, they have did great with them so far. And him and his wife, and they wanted the dual purpose. Yeah. And they're wanting to get their breeding program going. And it was really neat to meet that couple. They're doing the same thing me and Misty do. Yeah. And we don't go 50 weekends, but we go quite a bit.
No, that's what it takes to really establish.
We enjoy it, of course. We enjoy it. That's what it's all about. Yeah. It's good, clean fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need some stories. Come on, you get. I put a headset on you, and now you forget how to talk.
I don't know where to start on that. But
you've been doing this for a long time. What'd you say, 40 years or something? Or
I am 48, And I started when I was about 8. I've been doing it for 40 years.
That's what I thought you said the other night.
Yeah. Yeah. We're really glad to come back to Flora. I don't know how many times I've been here, since I was a kid. And living in Illinois, it feels like home.
Yeah.
It's just where,
It's a little far for us PA guys.
And both of us too. We have been involved in the Black and Tan Association board.
Mm-hmm.
Misty did executive vice. I started out with the youth program with Philip Herron.
Okay.
And
Back when our kids were
yeah,
running the youth.
yeah, we did a lot with the youth program then.
Mm-hmm.
We used to take at least 3 kids to every state. We'd go to Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Missouri, whatever state had a youth event. That weekend, we were gone with the girls, and we were on it.
Yeah.
And we had the kids they met along the way, and
Mm-hmm.
it was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Youth Nationals is always a big hit.
Mm-hmm. No, I went last year, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's fun to watch those other kids other families and how them kids have all grown up now.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are still coon hunters, and
Mm-hmm.
that's fun to watch too.
I thought it was interesting. Like, a lot of these kids knew each other, and it's like they're from vastly different areas of the country. And it's like, but because they compete in these youth events
They know
all around the country, they've got friends literally all around the country. I'm like, how many other kids, you go pull a middle school or high school, and it's like, how many people here have friends, 5+ hours away? Most kids are gonna be like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
here's these coon hunters kids,
They see them 2 or 3 times a year or more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they meet up and it's like nothing ever, like they never even miss any time apart. They're just best buddies.
Yeah.
No, I got to see that last year, and I thought it was pretty cool. Eventually, one of these days, I guess I'll have to get a legitimate show dog or hunting dog that I can get my kids involved in some events.
Yeah. That's the next generation. You've got to, and one thing me and Misty do strive for is, our breeding program, and we try to, it's not all about the winning. We just want to produce a high quality hound, whatever we're going. But animal health is a lot to us.
Yeah.
We try to keep our dogs as clean and neat and healthy with a shot program and up to date on everything as we can. And we are very fortunate. He'll probably never hear this podcast, but we have one of the best veterinaries in the country within 20 minutes of our house.
Nice.
And you can call him on a Sunday, and he'd just take care of the dogs. And if it wasn't for him, he saved Kentucky Rebel twice. Had a stick shoved in him one night in the rib cage. He pulled it out. And
Oh, jeez.
yeah. And then one night he about bled to death on me, and he fixed him up for me. And Misty you go ahead and tell him what he did last weekend.
I had a dog that ate a piece of cloth and blocked her intestines.
Oh,
So
jeez.
she had to have emergency surgery, or I would have showed her this weekend.
Yeah.
She's doing fine now, though.
That's great. But no, having a quality vet, it's a huge asset to a breeding program.
Oh, yeah.
Or especially when you have a lot of hounds.
He always teases us. He says, I'm almost finished with that new addition on the house with you guys' money.
Yeah.
And we always laugh about it. But he's our age, him and his wife, and they run the vet clinic together.
Nice.
And, we have a lot in common.
Yeah.
And his wife raises Labradors.
Okay.
And
So she has a lot of experience as well.
yes. And the go-to, if we have a question.
Yeah.
And we learn off each other.
Mm-hmm.
But we do, that is something we really strive for, is animal health and nutrition.
Yeah.
Try to get the best out of them.
Exactly. No, and
Yep.
especially when as high of a level as you're competing, you can't feed old Roy and expect the best out of him.
No.
Conkeys Outdoors is proud to be a sponsor of Tree Talking Time. Family, hunting, tradition is the Conkeys motto. They understand the importance of passing down the tradition of hound hunting. They are a family-owned business that treats you like family. They also understand the importance of having the gear you need when you need it. Conkeys carries everything for your next hunt, and it ships to your door quick. They also offer great warranties on all tracking systems and financing options. Check them out at conkeys.com. You can also use the code TreeTalkingTime5 in all caps to save as well.
We've been very lucky and very fortunate with our hounds over the
say
years.
That, but you also work hard at it.
We work at it.
We work at it every day.
My my hunting dogs are like baseball players. I mean, so to speak. They come up from the minors, and I farm them out to different guys all over the country. Here, take this one, hunt it. Take this one, hunt it, and see what you think.
Mm-hmm.
And as they come up through the ranks, they, if they're ready to be pushed at that time, then they get pushed.
Yeah.
And some of them get demoted back down to the minors. I mean, they don't all make it.
Yeah.
But the ones that do, we're pushing them.
Yeah. No, for sure. And like you said, just the number of dogs you have, and especially the program that you have. I don't get how you guys even work. Like, that's a full-time job in itself.
Well, I farm for a living, corn, soybeans, and cattle, and I do get to kind of set my own schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when it's time for spring planting and harvest, everything ceases.
Yeah.
And you got to get it in, get it out, get
Yep.
it done, and that's our bread and butter. But
Yeah.
But otherwise, when I've got plenty, if I get time and I make time, we're working with the dogs.
Yeah. And that's very evident. Me and Trevor were commenting on, Hank, like the level of obedience you guys have on that dog. We're over here taking pictures, and you're like, sit down, stay. How many of these other hounds would do that? I would honestly say he's probably the only dog on the grounds, and there's hundreds of dogs here that would actually do
I
that.
have about 3 or 4 of them that.
Okay, yours, but anybody else's?
Yeah, no, it takes a lot of work, but I work with them every day.
Yeah.
It's an everyday thing.
Mm-hmm. No, and that's very evident. You put one of these dogs on the bench, and it's you set them up, and they're statues, and I'm blown away by it.
It's kind of the same thing. Like I like to get them in as young as I can and start putting them on the bench, and so that way when they're ready to show, they're already standing.
Yeah.
If not, I wouldn't be able to get them to stand like that.
Yeah. No, it's very impressive to me. That's for sure.
She always says that's the easy job for them because they've learned ever since they was a puppy, and they enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. When she's working them, I mean, they're tickled to pink because she gives them treats and makes everybody sit while the other ones watch the one being showed on the bench. Yeah, it's quite a...
Did you have a dog training background before you got into the hounds?
No.
Okay.
No.
I didn't know if you
She's always been really good with animals. It didn't matter what animal it was. She can work with them.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure if, you had other dogs before the hounds.
I mean, I did have dogs, but they were just dogs.
Yeah.
Like, they were just pets.
Gotcha.
I didn't do any competition or anything with them like that. That didn't start until I started getting into dog shows. And then I was just trying to figure out a way to socialize them when I'm not at a show.
Yeah.
And so then it just kind of led to doing different dog sports. So then it started with rally.
Okay.
And then that led to agility. And then, I don't know, now I just do about anything that they will let them compete in.
That's awesome. I'm sure that's pretty entertaining to watch a black and tan doing agility and stuff.
She looks it all up, and she tells me, she's like, I haven't done that yet. Me and Hank's going to try that. I haven't done that yet. I wonder if Theodore, the service dog, I wonder if he'll do that, And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then it's like Terry Dolbear said one day, oh, here comes another title. I can see it coming because Misty entered him in something new. And shoot, next weekend, sure enough, Trevor's got to read another title.
The best part is when him and Alan don't even know what those titles are. And I just laugh. I'm like, you guys at least work for UKC. All of us out here, we don't know what they are, but
yeah,
you guys at least work for UKC. You'd think you'd be a little more familiar.
Yeah.
The dog.
He's a good dog.
Yeah. He's a one-in-a-lifetime dog. That dog, he's smart.
Yeah.
He's very smart.
That's very evident.
My grandpa always said a smart dog's a lot easier to train. He never said nothing about the other ones. He just said a smart dog's a lot easier to train.
For sure.
And the first thing they have to be obedient. And she works with them a lot.
You know, a lot of cur dog guys listen to my podcast, and I'm a cur dog guy at heart. And you know, one of the famous sayings for cur dog guys is the shorter the ear, the more the brains. And you know, you're kind of making that not necessarily always true. I'm not going to say it's not true a lot of times, but it's not always true. You got some really long-eared black and tans that are actually pretty smart.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've had black and tans so long now. I don't think we're going to go to any other breed. You know.
You've never had anything else?
No, never have.
We have a border collie.
You have a border collie.
I have a border collie.
But that's not a hound though.
No.
No.
We just have black and tan.
No, and that border collie is very smart.
Oh, I'm sure.
Beyond. Yeah.
So what's next?
Well, the old saying, and that was another thing my grandpa said, getting on top is very hard, but staying on top's even tougher.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping this ain't the pinnacle.
No, especially you've not only gotten yourself up, but like you said, all these people that have come along with you and helped you. But that just means you're competing against them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get beat by your own stuff.
Yeah.
That's a really good bad thing.
Yeah.
Well, and it's fun because we're all friends. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they trash talk once in a while. I'm coming for you today. I'm like, okay, bring it.
Worst case scenario, you win, and I still kind of win because it's my off of my stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, on a funny note today, in Misty's win pictures with her show dogs, she always makes me hold the tail.
Yeah.
And she gets the front end and I get the tail of the dog, you know. Today she actually had to hold the tail.
Yeah, because your dog won.
I know. Barely, though, according to Dave Myers.
Yeah.
I had one for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So obviously people listening to this are not going to be like, during the show, Dave Myers called out the wrong dog.
Yeah. Yeah, they said that the dog I had won Queen of Show. And then
One of the judges.
yeah,
was
just like a few seconds later, they're like, wait, no, that's not right. It's David.
Yeah.
And he's like, oops.
It was a shocker.
It was
I was
fun.
like, well, I can't beat her. She beat me again.
Yeah. Well, you managed to.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all in good fun today.
Yep, for sure.
We really appreciate, too, what UKC does for us with our promoting our hounds, too,
Mm-hmm.
with the podcast and some of the banners. They've got roll for the hunting banners, you know,
Yeah.
at Autumn Oaks, Winter Classic, stuff like that. And then the all breed sports, tell them about that, Misty.
Oh, they have Hanker's doing precision course, and they have a picture of him that they use for the all breed sports banner.
What was he competing in?
He was doing precision, or it's like where they chase the plastic bag.
Okay. Like lure coursing?
Yeah, just basically the same.
Gotcha.
They took it down at Shreveport, didn't they?
Kalamazoo.
Kalamazoo.
Okay.
Yeah,
At
Premier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's her next big show, I think, or big
Yeah.
event.
Yeah.
Yep, we're going to Kalamazoo.
I've never been. That's the time of the year that we bale hay, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's hard to get away.
Yeah.
But she loves going up there.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, it looks like it's a fun event.
yeah,
It's a little different than what I know we're used to as coon hunters.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Hank stands out because he's usually the only one.
I would imagine so.
Yeah. Yeah, all the staff and all of them, they're UKC. They really help us out, and,
Mm-hmm.
and we appreciate everything they do for us.
Yeah. No, they're great. That's for sure.
Yeah, Alan, Trevor, Taylor, and they're top notch.
Yep.
Stone Creek Hound Supply, a family-operated business, boasts over 50 years of involvement in hounds. For over 2 decades, they've been dedicated to supplying high-quality hound gear. Their reputation is founded on unparalleled quality and exceptional customer service. Crafted from U.S. source materials, Stone Creek clothing is meticulously manufactured right here in Pennsylvania. Through their commitment to excellence, many of their customers have become lifelong friends.
I'm excited about all the pictures you've taken this weekend. Can't wait to look on Smug Mug. And
Yep, they'll be there probably middle of the week.
Misty will have the credit card out, and then I'll be like, Ben, you shouldn't have took so many pictures.
Like I kind of got towards the end of the shows, and I'm like, how many more pictures of the same like 5 dogs do I need to take? And I was like, I've gotten quite a few pictures of the same dogs already this weekend, so
Yeah,
I did lay off a little bit towards the end. Because all the dogs at the end, it's like you all won multiple times this weekend, so
Yeah.
when they get on a roll, stay on them. That's and the problem with the show dog is they're yesterday's news after a year. If they win big one year, they're it's new dog next year, and then that's the hot dog, and everybody seems like they want to pick that dog, But hunting dog is a little different, It's based on performance with them, and they have slumps like everything else.
Yeah.
But you can get on a roll with them too, where they win multiple casts. And when they're clicking, push.
Yeah.
Keep pushing. And that's whenever great things happen. You get that right dog with that right handler. Show or hunt, and if that dude's winning and clicking, don't stop now.
Yeah.
Felicia Bailey was winning a couple years ago, and she's like, I don't know if I'm going to that state hunt or not. And then Misty's like, or show, and Misty's like, you got to go. And then I called her. I said, you get in that pickup and you go. I said, you got one of the best dogs in the country. And she went. She called me the next day, and she said, I won. And I said, well, push. Got to go.
No, and like you said, when things are clicking, just throttle down. And
Yeah.
so anybody that's looking to establish a breeding program, or you have any advice for somebody like that? 'Cause you guys have accomplished a lot. So what would you say to somebody?
Start small. Because it will grow.
Well, it'll overwhelm you.
It will overwhelm you if you have too much at one time.
No, I can understand that.
But you want to start with quality stuff, and you want to make sure that, you enhance the good parts, what one's lacking.
Do your research.
Research.
Okay. Study the
Anybody
patterns.
can just make a cross and make pups.
Yeah.
To make the high quality that you are looking for. Not maybe the next person isn't looking for that. Just maybe, you gotta look outside the box and say, well, why did I get beat by that dog? Or what am I lacking? Or what does my line of dogs need? Or what are we lacking on? Or it's to get that balance.
Yeah.
Show or hunt.
Yeah, no,
it's tough.
You've mentioned that a couple times this weekend, where you went outside to a dog that beat you or in a hunt, or that you took one of your good, hunting dogs and you bred to a good show dog to trying to get that dual purpose dog. And, you want them to perform, but you also want them to look good doing it.
Yeah.
And be built right.
Well, I think I remember now what I told you the other night. I said, everybody wants a good-looking dog.
Yeah.
Whatever breed it is, everybody wants that good-looking dog. And even a hunting dog, if he, they can all run a tree of coon, but if he's a good-looking dog, you got something.
Yeah.
Even the hunters are like, whew, man, he's a good-looking dog. And that promotes you. You and the dog both, and the pups or whatever's coming down the line.
Yeah.
And the better the looking the dog, the better you are,
Zach, what do we not cover? So Zach has said that all the winning that David has done with all these different males, Ruger, Rebel, Roll.
It's the whole lineage.
You have to have them ready is the big key.
Mm-hmm.
Physically in shape. You have to be physically in shape also. And you have to have your animal ready because the competition will be there and you want to be ready.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to take nothing for granted.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be ready. And the best run, some of the big runs I've had in the past, but one of the best I'll never forget was 2016 with Rebel. He was 22 months old. I had him clicking. And I came to Black and Tan Days, and he was in the Champions Classic.
Mm-hmm.
And I won my cast the first round.
He barely made it into the Champions Class.
Yeah, he was number 16 or 17 or 18, but
yeah,
a
he just got in
female
because someone couldn't make it.
female coming heat or somebody couldn't make it. And Jared Leathers called me and wanted to know if I would fill the number 16 spot. And I remember saying then, I said, at least I'm in.
Yeah.
And I ended up winning my cast the first round. I went back out late round and won the whole thing.
Nice.
I was the second Champions Classic winner. Paul Miller had won it the year before.
Mm-hmm.
And I won the whole thing. And I was like, wow, that was neat. Then the next night, they had a memorial hunt. They used to have a memorial hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And Rebel scored 900 plus. And I won that.
There you go.
And then the next night, I won my cast again on Friday night. And on Saturday night, I won my cast again. And I was 50 points shy of being king of hunt, but I was a 5 cast in a row winner at Black and Tan Days.
Yeah.
And I don't know too many dogs that have done that. If any have, there's a lot to come close.
Mm-hmm.
But to win 5 casts in a row with the same dog at Black and Tan Days is doing something. Michael Wilson's dog, or the cable dog, Oxidine, and them own it now. He won the Classic and won King of Hunt. I don't know if he won on Thursday night or not, but I mean he might have did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
To win 5 casts in a row at Black and Tan Days within your breed,
Yeah.
and he was my dog was a Grand Knight then, so I drew the best of the best.
Yep.
Every night, and we just outbested him. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we had to tree the coons and we got it done.
And I will say, most people would think, you don't when you go to a major event, you see walker dogs, and you would say, oh, there's not that many black and tans. Last year and this year, the all black hunt on Thursday night, there's been over 100 dogs last year and this year, all black and tans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of black and tans.
The numbers were 104 last year on Thursday night in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
This year it was 111, I think. That's not counting the youth. And we were like 129 in Ohio last year. And last night we had 161 dogs go to the woods.
Yeah.
There's a lot. And hopefully tonight there's a big turnout.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying, like, to do that,
You
would think most people probably wouldn't realize that Black and Tan Days is such a large hunt.
For the breed days, we're one of the biggest.
Yeah.
And Trevor and Alan said we're like the number 6th biggest hunt of the year is Black and Tan Days.
That doesn't surprise me.
Because all the others are satellited out, like TOC. They spread it out here and there,
Mm-hmm.
And the World Hunt, the same thing. They have maybe 100 dogs at a zone.
Yeah.
But, for us to break over, 100 or so every night.
Yeah.
So.
Now even somebody was just commenting about treeing walker days. They didn't even put 100 dogs in the woods each night.
Yeah.
So.
I'm hoping tonight we put over 100 in tonight. The weather's good. That's one thing. And the weather was good last year in Ohio, too.
Mm-hmm. So. That's just a credit to this breed and this association as well.
Yeah.
You guys have a great association.
Yeah, I think so, too.
We have one of the best yearbooks out there.
Hands down, especially this year's.
Yeah, this year's.
It's super nice.
Yeah.
Which, for all the listeners that don't know, I took the photo that's on the cover and the photo on the back cover.
It's pretty cool.
So I'm a little excited about it.
They had a raffle for the back cover, but and Zach won it.
Yep.
And put Ruger on the back, which is out of our stuff, and a Gilman dog. But on the front, Kelly Myers won with her and Dave won the World Show Champion. So to us, it was cool because it was a Gilman on the front and a Gilman on the back.
Exactly.
Don't know if we'll ever do that again, but.
No, last year I said something about, oh, you need a good black dog photo. I got a couple for the cover, and they're like, oh, the only way they explained the whole process if the only way a dog gets on the cover is if it wins a world.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, okay. Never thought much about it. And then Dave and Kelly won the world, and they're like, hey, can you go take some pictures for us? I was like, absolutely.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, they turned out great. Looked really good.
Yeah, it's a really nice yearbook.
It is.
It is.
Yeah, and Bobby Livingston worked her tail off to get it there like that. And it's a very nice yearbook. I told her that over the weekend, too. I said, it turned out better, one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And
There's
Wait-
a lot of work that goes into that.
Oh, how many yearbooks do we have? Misty's got a.
I think we have them from 1971, and
Right.
I know we have some that are missing, but we
Yeah, Grandpa's old yearbooks.
Yeah, that's
And-
pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah, we have them, and she has them in a library down the basement.
Yeah,
It's very cool. And how things have changed
I'm sure
on the.
you can see
Yeah.
a lot of change in that time frame.
Yeah.
Well, I know everyone's here is tired, so I won't hold you up for too much longer. But I appreciate you guys sitting down with me this afternoon, and also letting me tag along. The other night with Roll, and
It was my pleasure.
so
Thank you for everything over the weekend, all the pictures and stuff.
yep. Hope you enjoy them.
Thank you very much.
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Tree Talking Media. And until next time, keep 'em talking in the timber.